He clearly awakened his cheat ability, but he spends his days picking flowers in the medicinal herb field. Weeding was done because my system was harvesting the lifespan of spiritual beings. Having one's life at one's disposal not only eliminates the need for fighting. Fighting and killing can increase lifespan. Fate can even be changed while lying down. I am currently enduring the intense heat. 2 other people were picking herbs, but I'm hiding under the tree, being lazy, instead of getting angry. I was secretly pleased because I had awakened the cheat code that steals lifespan, anything that contains spiritual energy. I can take over even plants. Lifespan, pinch the root tendon. Scissors, a gentle snip with a spirit-protecting finger, wrap the base of the safflower to successfully seize the crimson spirit flower. 1 year's lifespan became. A smile appeared on my face. This is the first time that I have personally experienced this. The lifespan is taken away at the age of 10. That year, I accidentally bumped into someone else. The flower pots held by the guests. To that pot of sacred flowers sprinkled on the ground. This earned him a 12-year lifespan. The guards were furious at the time. The bad guy insisted on carrying one of my hands. It was still the 3rd Miss Jai Zioyu who stopped her. Jai Zioyu saved me. A rare dual spiritual root, leading 5 members of the Jai family to pay homage. I am one of only 2 people to have entered the Tai Chuan sect. Guest Zhang Chunkyu will present 3 flowers. The crimson spirit flower was placed at the waist. The storage bag said seriously, "Today the task is to pick 50 after the completion of the red spirit flower. Come to the pavilion." I saw Zhang Chunkyu when he came to my building. After going upstairs, I spoke to Meng Langley. He said, "Look, my 2 brothers, you are dressed in rich clothes, so you must be doing something. I wouldn't do this kind of rough work. I was just a guest. To complete the task, you need to find a dark place, rest in the cool place for many more days. Just take care of me." Meng Lang thought. He laughed with delight and said, "Great job. Bro, if you can't stand it anymore someday, I'll guarantee you a life of plenty." The 2 then left each. The spirit paper continued on its way. I looked back out of the garden, eyes shining brightly at the garden. The red spirit flower in the garden is not a flower, but it is the path to life. After that, I became careful about kidney stones, wandering actions not only. To complete the task, you must also do it well. To avoid losing this perfect Meng Lang and Laya's job, we rested in a small pavilion. The 2 kept wiping their sweat. Meng Lang couldn't help but sigh. This kid is really something in this heat. That's quite a feat. We'll take more photos in the future. Gu wouldn't allow anyone to bully him. He's right. Brother, which one are you? The local Lai family and Laya are at peace. To the Lai family in Chang'an, Kangzhou, isn't that the imperial city? You and the emperor, a man surnamed Meng Lang asked in surprise. Dao Gang had just finished speaking when he couldn't help but. Laya stared wide-eyed but did not reply. Instead, he quietly watched. After a long time, I finally picked it. Complete 50 red spirit flower heart god. Lines of text appeared one by one. The name before my eyes is not enough to guarantee my lifespan. 15,151 spiritual root. 5 elements general. Spiritual roots can be invested in lifespan. Evolutionary cultivation and spiritual practice are not included. Stream can be incorporated into lifetime evolution. Cultivation technique. Mixed fire technique, refined into a lifespan evolution. Transform cultivation into a single breath to seize. Having lived 88 years. Looking at himself, the more I look at the attribute panel, the more excitement. Earned money in such a short time. Having lived to 88. What more could one ask for? I want to use my bicycle as a medicine bone. The nail box was fixed in place by this medicine. The bone bandaged up the crimson spirit. The flowers were placed in a bamboo basket and carried on a back, looking out over the bamboo basket towards other areas. His face was full of anticipation. The park in the valley exceeds 15 trees where they are located. The park is just a small corner of me. Walk along the path to the attic. At the same time, he summoned Meng Lang and Laya. The 2 men got up and walked over. "Brother N, you've worked hard." Meng Lang chuckled as he said, "Just carry it." Speaking of which, I saw through Meng Lang's. Ziosi smiled and nodded. Then, he handed the bamboo basket to Lai Yepai. Disdain was evident in his mouth and eyes. "All I want to do is preserve this. I don't want this job to be ruined by the table." He was transferred because he was doing too well, so I couldn't be bothered to argue with Meng Lang. The 3 of them entered the attic, and the elixir was given to senior brother Zhang. After the spring and autumn period, he returned to his residence. Currently, only the 4 of them possess this medicinal bone. The disciple and the valley master went out for 2 days. I can only come back after the new year. So now, Zhang Chunkyu was in charge of the medicinal bone preparation. The night passed and I woke up early in the morning. After waking up and quickly washing up, he then went to find Zhang Chunkyu to lead the way. Zhang Chunkyu did not take the mission. He was sleeping and cultivating his inner energy. Lion's diligence towards Guan. He smiled with satisfaction and then stood up, walked to the door and went to A. He pointed to that garden. You can pick water chestnuts in the area. After picking, Put the water chestnut grass. Just leave it at the door, and spring will go. Autumn arrives at the Tai Xuan sect's medicinal bones, spending time in the changing seasons. A year that no one cared about. Over the course of a year, I picked. They took care of everything here. The herbs are not ordinary plants. The time required for things to mature is longer. Many herbs need to grow for several years. Only then can it be harvested within a year. Not many herbs were picked. At this moment, in the corner of the yard, Laya is practicing his swordsmanship. His spirit, although his root qualities were mediocre, it came from the royal granary. After all, the imperial dynasty followed the path of immortal cultivation to its fullest extent. I, a scholar and a warrior, will cultivate immortality while listening to Meng Lang's rambling. Bu Ziu stared at Laya. The three swordsmen spent their days together. A good relationship has been established. Until dusk fell on Laya. He had just finished practicing his swordsmanship and wood. His own sword was stuck in the courtyard. While wiping his sweat, he said, "Go for a walk in the grove and wait for him." After leaving the courtyard, Meng Lang lowered his head. He muttered to himself, "You mean this kid? What do you always do in the woods?" I shook my head. How would I know? They are members of the royal family. It's normal to have secrets on your back. I walked to the well and used a ladle scooped a spoonful from the wooden bucket. He drank the water in one gulp and then released it. He walked out of the courtyard with the wooden ladle. He didn't go with Meng Lang. I know what I'm going to do. This park is planted with second-tier spiritual herb, the mind-cleansing grass. Again, it will be ready to harvest this leaf in a month. The park's tranquil grass. This was their first time obtaining the second-tier item. Those deep blue medicinal herbs, the herb asterisk purifying heart grass asterisk, is not a medicinal. Instead, the lifespan of the resin suddenly. I saw a heart purifying. After shaking and focusing, I took a closer look at her face. The color changed drastically and immediately flipped. Hurry over the wooden fence. There was a white one, about the size of a palm. The hairy mouse is cleaning. The soil beneath the heart grass seems. Want to cleanse the heart grass by the roots. Pulling up, he saw someone rushing towards him. The hairy mouse was so frightened that it immediately scurried away. They escaped without a trace. If you want to catch up, you can see that plant. The heart-cleansing grass was bitten. The grass stem broke, and the lotus on fell from the waist. Take out a spirit-protecting finger. Quickly detach the heart with your left hand. Grass. Then use the spirit protection finger with your right hand, entangling its roots to prevent spirit. The anger dissipated, and you successfully seized it. Purifying heart grass. Second stage. 4-year life. Your lifespan has broken for the first time. Lifespan exploration begins after a millennium. Functional lifespan detection. Out of curiosity, I couldn't help but look at the ground. A heart-purifying herb on the ground. Don't try to check your net lifespan. Heart grass second stage, 102 year 4. Life expectancy at 25th of the month. This pure heart has the limit of lifespan, taking away the life limit of grass. The lifespan of its original. Lifespans also differ, so it seems impossible to be completely accurate. Deprive the target of its entire lifespan. Most of lifespan decreases with age. The target died and scattered. Take the wrapped-up heart-cleansing grass and walk away. To Zhang Chunkyu's attic medicine. All the herbs inside the bone must. All were handed over to Zhang Chunkyu for safekeeping. Guan had just stepped out of the park when he saw a person was seen climbing Zhang Chunkyu. The staircase in the attic. An old man in black carried, wearing a book box and a black cloth headband. The hat made the whole person look very. The mysterious old man in black looked into the distance. My mind stirred as I checked. The other person's lifespan followed. 2 lines of prompts popped up in front of me. Chengshuan Dan refining Kai to the 8th level. 104,120,180. Chengshuan elixir. The Lord of Bones is also my nominal title. The master only listened to Zhang Chunkyu. Speaking of these years away from home, this is the first time I've seen Yunyu today. Cheng Chuandan's lifespan was 4 years old. Is the maximum lifespan 120 years? 180 years old means no intention. If that's not the case, then he can only. Zhang Chunkyu lived to be 16 years. The bandaged Jinxin was placed inside the hospital. The grass was placed on a long table. Then he turned and left, returning to his own world. First, we visited the courtyard. Dream Wave. Cultivating indoors. Dream Wave Kai refining level 2. Stage 17. 90,190. Yeth. It's really useless. The item then went to Laya's room. Laya's Kai refining stage 6. Level 18, 2,101,550, ultimate lifespan. This is the royal son, aged 1,550. Is it his brother's talent? Laya, is this guy also a mixed spiritual root? His cultivation level had actually reached the refinement stage. 6.5 layers of air cleaned up the pigs that were imprisoned. Cultivation levels from low to high. In orders, they are divided into gas refining injection machines. The reason for core formation, and the transformation of spirit at each level. The Great Realm is further subdivided into 9. Laya can reach the small realm, reaching the Kai refining stage at age 18. The 6-story building is estimated to be completed in a few years. It can be injected into the machine and become 2. This is how a formal disciple of the Chuanmen Taoist sect is. The genius fellow disciples must hand. Good relationship in the early morning. Hall of anxiety, dreams, and laughter Laya. Standing side by side in front of them. Cheng Chuanden sat in the chair, holding a cup of hot tea. Zhang Chunkyu was standing next to me. Then Zhang Chunkyu was used. Lifespan exploration, Zhang Chunkyu refinement. Air purification layer, 54,110,175. Cheng Shuan Dan lifted up the turbid. He looked at the 3 people and spoke. I heard from your senior brother. I have learned about your performance. Upon our first meeting, your teacher, have been given this gift. You can give a gift as a token of your appreciation. Choose Beike Alu Oxygen Bow, and the spell Poison Vine can only, if all the selected students cannot pass on their knowledge to each other. It was discovered by my teacher that it was certain. Minglang was severely punished, and Poison Wood was taken away. Teng Lia chose Beikao. I had no choice but to record it. He received the Oxygen Bow and still pretended to be. He seems happy lately. Demons infiltrated the Tai Xuan sect's medicine. The valley is located on the edge of Tai Xuan Gate. Although there were disciples patrolling, there is danger in your daily life. Don't step out of the medicine valley. After giving his instructions, Cheng Xuanden waved. The 3 men, including Guan, immediately set off. After politely taking his leave, Cheng Xuan remained in his room. Dan nodded slightly and said, that person, the kid named Laya, is no ordinary person. Single, probably cultivated for a certain period of time. A method to conceal one's cultivation level. His energy and spirit are no less than yours. Pay more attention to him in the future, since the royal family didn't treat him too strictly. Kijang Chunkyu nodded. Lio thought to himself, Master Guan is the most diligent one plus him. The worst performer stays in Medicine Valley. The time will definitely be longer than Xuan. Dan calmly said, okay, then you should take good care of yourself. Just wait. He's in your hands now. Gu En and the other 2 returned to their own. Dream waves along the way in the courtyard. When discussing demons, there is absolutely no. Laya was actually quite excited despite his fear. He stopped and looked at Guan. Qigong is actually not bad and can be accepted. I can conserve my energy and increase my lifespan. There is already a cultivation method, so it is not needed. For someone like you, cultivating inner strength is essential. Gong is actually a better choice for me. He smiled and thanked Lai. Brother, you've given me guidance on how to estimate my life. All the medicines must be kept at the hospital. The draft is indeed for me. It doesn't mean much. I'll just follow along. The eldest brother can also understand medicine. Grass returned to their respective rooms. I originally had no knowledge of Qigong. If you're not interested, you can listen to Laya. This function is said to suppress one's aura. Suddenly want to practice increasing lifespan. Practice while trying out lifespan evolution. The ability to transform this year. I have practiced Zhang Chunkyu's teachings. The bestowed spring wood skill has never been. Progress was abandoned, and it was abandoned. Boring practice is not as good as going to. Explore the library in Medicine Valley more often. Books on herbs and various travel. A record of the introduction of growth day by day. In the past, in addition to routine inspections, I stayed indoors, except for the herbs, after 15 days of cultivation. Finally, make your attribute panel. The words Yang Kai Gong appeared. The note following it indicates that it has not been practiced. Cheng would also feel sorry. I stared at the attribute panel, silently selected from the Qigong practice. Please select Input Life Cycle Evolution. Select the number of lifespans to invest. Looking at this line of text, I felt, make a choice without hesitation. 2 then jumped out in front of me. What is your opinion on Qigong? Performing an exercise within a year of lifespan. Transform your cultivation into a practice that nourishes your Kai. Your success in a year is due to your comprehension and talent. Mediocre quality. No cultivation level. Progress has been made, but your energy has been replenished. I suddenly felt a surge of energy throughout my body. Comfortable, but this feeling comes from. It goes quickly and comes quickly. That's all. The word mediocre is deeply ingrained. It's too much of a provocation to bully me. He immediately chose to advance his spiritual route. Lifespan evolution in a breath. What do you think about investing 100 years of your life? Spiritual route invests 100 years of lifespan. You are undergoing evolution and spiritual practice. Begin to appreciate the natural world. The long spiritual route sensitivity to nature. 100 years have passed since your wisdom was revealed. 5 elements spiritual route perception enhancement. Sheng Hun finished reading these 2 lines. Prompt to bring up the properties again. The panel revealed that the spiritual root was from the 5th level, transforming ordinary spiritual roots into 5. A better spiritual root looks at longevity. Life dwindles from 4 digits to 3. The number of digits is heartbreaking to see. The evolution of spiritual roots is without. Should we try raising the bottom hole again? Qigong thought of this, the idea of trying to overcome fate. There's a kind of itchy feeling in my heart. I think I earned it in just 1 year, to a lifespan of 1,000 years today. More grams. After a while, I'll work hard to earn my life. Let's indulge in a deep breath today, silently choosing the right one in one go. Qigong has been practiced for 500 years. What is your lifespan regarding Qigong? Entering a lifespan of 500 years. Evolutionary cultivation. Your practice and nourishment. Qigong for a year depends on your comprehension. Mediocre talent. No cultivation. What progress has been made, but your energy has been depleted. To enhance your cultivation of Kai, 10 years of hard work because of your comprehension and talent. Mediocre quality. No cultivation level. Progress. You have successfully mastered the art of raising. Qigong improves your blood and Kai. Upgrade your Kai cultivation technique. A century of constant cultivation has made you. Insights into Qigong. Your Qigong practice begins to change you. Cultivating Qigong for 200 years. Your Kai cultivation merges with heaven and earth. Spiritual energy transforms into cultivation. Method 3. Cultivating Qigong. Your Qigong advancement over a century. You cultivate the divine skill to nourish your spirit. The 400th anniversary of Qigong. You suddenly realize the universe. The true meaning will create the spiritual cultivation technique. Nourish your flesh for the dragon and elephant. Your cultivation will transform your body and blood. 500 years of Qigong. Dragon and elephant. Breakthrough in nourishing vital energy technique. The ultimate advancement of magic to the dragon mirror. Shen Yuan Gong generates your constitution. Qualitative change prompts line by line. A large number of memories appeared. I don't know what flooded into my mind. How long did it take before I woke up and opened my eyes? Opening the eyes has already been mastered directly. This cultivation technique. Dragon Mirror Divine Essence. Its power can conceal one's aura. Cultivation level can still refine dragons. Jingli Yankagong is Longjing. Basic cultivation of Divine Essence technique. The law of life evolution. It should be deduced from the incomplete skill manual. I have mastered the complete technique. It is suspected that a dragon mirror already exists in the world. The divine origin technique of the Tai Chuan sect is only obtained because of his disability. He was named Yang. Qigong forcibly suppressed the recurrence. I feel a fatal impulse, feeling your own body, a domineering force within the body. Its strength has an immense power. The senses are also affected. Significantly improve my ability. Hearing Mingla Lia's call. The sound of the aspiration can even be heard. Zhang Chengyu and Cheng Chuan in the distance. The demon's voice was heard. 13 disciples have already been killed. Most of them are various medicinal bones. The servant disciples, Master Guang. I might not be able to protect them on your own. It's all right. Your master has already applied to join a sect. The mission sect will dispatch one. A disciple of the Mirror Guardian came to guard. Protect our medicine. Listen to them. The conversation made me break out in a cold sweat. After being careless, the deduction function was improved. Fortunately, the law cannot be acted upon arbitrarily. Zhang Chengyu's cultivation level was low. Otherwise, my practice of martial arts will be. I discovered I had been eavesdropping for a while. Zhang Chengyu did not have the fixed elixir. I only felt at ease after healing myself. Continue to experience a brand new body. The soul is simultaneously in accordance with the dragon mirror god. The method of Yuan Gong will enable oneself. Suppress your breath to the lowest level. Blood also appears to be trapped inside the body. There is no difference between here and before cultivation. Open your own attribute panel. Name, Gu and lifespan, 1640. 2. Spiritual roots and 5 elements are called good spirit. Roots can be incorporated into lifespan evolution. Cultivation and spiritual practice that is not up to standard is acceptable. Investing in lifespan evolution practice. The technique of mixing fire was never fully mastered. Spring martial arts, not yet mastered dragon mirror. The divine essence technique has reached a state of perfection. Investing in lifespan evolution practice. Dragon mirror divine essence technique furnace fire perfected. I was completely satisfied with what I saw. It's a pity about the dragon mirror divine Yuan technique. It is a method of physical cultivation that cannot be practiced. Therefore, his cultivation level remained unchanged due to the refinement of spiritual power. Even if it's not mainstream, sweeping across the Kai refining realm is probably not possible. The problem can be addressed by waiting for the product's lifespan to recover. The growth dragon mirror divine essence technique has already. Dasheng will automatically extend lifespan. Life is only a temporary increase in speed. It's hard to define the next day's big day. We just arrived at an industrial park. My eyes locked onto a white. The hairy mouse was the same one from before. Mice munching on heart-nourishing grass. I looked around and made sure. No, none of the others left. Upon leaving the house, he immediately and quietly approached near the white-haired mouse. The distance between the two sides, when I was less than 7 steps away. I was like, the sword was drawn and sped past. Go grab the white-haired old man. White-haired rat directly into one's bosom. Raise 2 little paws. My posture of surrender is, at noon, Gu Anliya Station. In a park with wooden fences, Kai and Minglang looked on with curiosity, staring at the white in Gu An's hand. Laya, the hairy rat, pondered, this should be a white gibbon mouse. They are drawn to the spiritually rich heavens. Kai Dibao is full of interest. The treasure-hunting mouse, Guan, who could be considered a spirit beast. Upon hearing this, I suddenly didn't want to kill him. This mouse dreamed of Lang's interests. Guan laughed even louder. Why not let this mouse go? Laya said coldly. Give us, even a mouse would fight over it, to avoid some loss of value. Minglang, her cheeks immediately turned red with anger, after he left and waited until it was far away. I thanked Laya. After a while, Minglang walked quickly. Something terrible happened inside the courtyard. I dreamt. Lang came to Guan's side and lowered his head. Laya's tense tone. When asked what was wrong, Meng Lang glared at him. There is a person at the entrance of Iceway Valley. I went up and asked the monk. He said he was from the sect. The disciples accepted our master. The bounty mission requires us to guard. I guess the reason why my master, the reason for issuing the task is because, as mentioned before, what if that demon inside? The disciples could not stop the demons. We're all dead, aren't we? I saw that inner gatekeeper from afar. The disciple's figure is like me. My eyesight is good enough to see that. The true face of a person is. The young man was dressed in a youthful style. Long robe. Elegant and handsome. Chu Jing, wind stops hitting the mirror. First floor, 1929, 087019 years old, can live and attack. No wonder it could be formed on the first layer of Mira. For inner disciples of Tai Chuan sect, as expected of the Taikang dynasty, the first cult is full of geniuses. Laya and Meng Lang began to talk. The mysterious demon dream. Lang thought it was outrageous and too mysterious. How could something so powerful have demons? Infiltrating, and it's been half a month already. They still haven't caught Lai. I think it's normal to use his teeth. It is said that the Tai Chuan sect is too large. Medicine bones are also located on the margin when encountering danger while leading disciples. After hearing this, Guan became even more. I'm so afraid I'll never be able to go out again. He wanted to stay at the Tai Chuan sect. He's accumulating lifespan to survive for thousands of years. We'll talk about surviving until the Tai Chuan sect. The three who went bankrupt chatted again. After the meeting ended, I went back to my room. I tied it with a rope. The white spirit mouse then began its cultivation. It is the dragon mirror divine essence bow that is being refined. Enhanced strength and lifespan. Lifespan compared to other cultivation methods. Too many will directly harm one's fate, etc. As night fell, I heard Cheng Xuanden and Chu Jingfeng. Conversation between Cheng Xuanden and Chu Jing. Feng was very respectful. Seemingly Chu Jingfeng is not just an inner disciple, so simply by using the two of them, they learned about the demon through conversation. The names of the demons and ghosts are also greedy and angry, unaware of his own dragon mirror, divine essence. Can the bow destroy the demons of greed and anger? On the 6th day of the ghost festival, I remained the same. Go back to your room to rest after dark. I brought the news from the library. 4 books returned for mailing. Increase your understanding of the world. A white mouse scurried out from under the bed. Jump quickly to the desktop. Since experiencing my cultivation, the aura of the dragon mirror, divine essence bow. Then it became dependent on me. Even if Lai doesn't leash it now, it won't run to the table. I sat down and teased the white mouse. Then I started flipping through a book titled, Bridget Lin mailed the book Bridget Lin. Travel the world and appreciate the great rivers. The scenery in the north and south includes demon slaying. Even demon slaying can have fleeting romances. I watched until late at night when suddenly, hearing a noise in the distance, the news of the demon's death immediately followed. The sounds of fierce fighting soon followed. Later, I heard Chu Jingfeng again. The screams terrified me. He quickly closed the window and blew out the air. The oil lamp was moved to a corner of the room. The white-haired rat clearly felt what quickly jumped into my arms. This little beast actually, hearing trembling soon. The door to the next room was pushed open. The voice belonged to Laya. He charged forward with arrows to support Chu. Passing through the wind, Meng Lang was as lonely as a solitary figure and was still unable to bear it and actually hid. Immediately afterward, I heard something under the bed. With a bang, the outside of the house sank, even in the silence. With me, modern senses are also unable to capture the movement of catching greedy, angry and demonic spirits. Silence and breath know no past. How long did it take before my gaze suddenly fixed on? Smell at the threshold of the door. A black streak appeared in the wind. My heart was in my throat. My eyes and body suddenly tensed up. As my body lowered, I felt only wet hands pressed, sharp fingernails on one's own head, imprinted on my forehead brain. This arm went blank in an instant. The master probed from the darkness, posed a picture of someone with disheveled hair. Contesting faces emerged from the darkness. His true face was obscured by the crowd. All you could see was his clenched teeth. I was terrified by the dripping blood. He frantically raised his arm and swung it wildly. Go slap the greed and anger, the faces of demons and ghosts on the houses. The eaves were blasted open, leaving blood and flesh everywhere. I was panting heavily inside the room. My right arm, raised high, trembled, hands covered in blood. The blood of the angry demon splattered all. The face was covered with a giant flower on the wall. A large blood flower bloomed, creating a white streak. A white, severed arm lay at my feet. Bayan has successfully seized the power of greed and anger. The demon's lifespan is extended by 52 years. Looking at the tie that jumped out in front of me, I was still panting heavily, but the gaze became unaccustomed. I find this absurd myself. He was too strong. Or was it Chu Jingfeng? The others were too weak. just when I was tired. When confused, I vaguely heard a house. I thought the sound of the door opening was, "Lie down and close your eyes." At that time, the hands of greed, anger, demons, and ghosts will be. Arms draped over oneself and pinched. After doing this on my own neck, cut your hands and spread them out as if you're fainting. Several days after death, seeing Laya's half-body, the child was wrapped in a white cloth, and his face still had two shocking scars. Hen Chu Jingfeng's injuries were more severe than. She was also severely ripped off. One arm is enough to make Shu and Dan Zhang Chunkyu Meng Lang's. That morning, completely unharmed, several cultivators from the Tai Chuan sect came. The cultivators' cultivation levels are all higher than Chu Jingfeng's. Highest level reaches the shooting scope. They interrogated me on the 9th floor about the specifics. I pretended to be terrified. The most important thing is to know nothing about the appearance. The cultivators ultimately concluded that, after all, others will step in. The lone saddle had no spiritual power whatsoever. It might be the greed and anger he slew. I am enjoying the demon right now. Seize the second-tier medicinal herbs. Life's joy second-tier herb. Can it bring me 2 to 5 years? A lifespan of 10 years helped Laya and his companion. The total number of harvests this time can be. Take 60 second-order medicinal herbs. It's so awesome. Thinking of the killing of greed, anger, demons, and ghosts. Greed, anger, demons and ghosts brought me 5. A lifespan of 12 years. Isn't that? This explains why slaying demons and monsters can. Does it bring more lifespan? Just thinking about that night's terror, horrifying experiences, and Chu Jingfeng lie. The tooth injury suddenly felt like this. The thought doesn't need to be strengthened. Why risk your life instead of being a vagrant? After a while, the development of the small area ended. You will use 60 calming herbs. After picking, carrying a bamboo basket. Then they walked toward Zhang Chunkyu's pavilion. Lu handed over all the calming herbs. Zhang Chunkyu told Zhang Chunkyu, "My thoughts on greed, anger, demons, and ghosts. Don't mention hearing about it afterward. The demon is a former member of the sect. This matter concerning the elders must not be spread." And they gave me a book called The Secret to Making Crippled Legs. As compensation, let's pretend this never happened. I immediately bowed and thanked them. Dao Zhang Chunkyu blinked. He laughed and said he should practice more when he has free time. Maybe then I can protect myself. Don't give this secret manual to Meng. As for Lai Ye, he showed the extraordinary talent of the master. It will definitely help him break through to the foundation establishment stage. He'll probably be here in 2 years at most. To leave Medicine Valley and wait for Gu An. Zhang Chunkyu closed the door and whispered. He sighed, thinking, what an honest man. The child will definitely be able to take my place in the future. Take care of your master's greed, anger, demons, and ghosts. Although the attack did not make the drug, the valley is dead. But it is the medicine that makes people die. The atmosphere in the valley has changed from the past. The more mysterious Laya became. He usually hides after finishing his chores, even dream waves. I also began to practice diligently. Practice the secret manual of the crippled wind leg. It took a month to cure the crippled leg. It appeared on the panel, which made me very happy. He gave up cultivation due to the setback, preparing to clash with the sun and moon in the future. My figure keeps changing. Now each industrial park has become a pharmaceutical hub. The busiest person in the valley. The year arrives amidst heavy snow. Until the first snow melted, foreigners came to visit. They came specifically to find our house. The young man inside was dressed in Tai Chuan sect clothing. The blue path of the outer disciples. He looked around the room. The Environmental Protection Bureau that was established this year. How to follow Jai Zioyu and become a disciple. There are 5 people from the Tai Chuan sect. In the middle, there is only loneliness and contentment in the present. This young man, Shi Jayadinking, the year was named Dui Si Ling Jan. With Jai Jairan's help, the qualifications, with his help, he entered the Tai Chuan sect. The door is all right. I just casually said. Dui looked at me slightly, shaking his head. He said, You, initially, I didn't want to come here because of the 3 small. Sister and Jai Jia's face. The method will put you in the outer door. Why come here when it's so easy? They suffer and cannot see cultivation. I hope I can watch him live for less than 150 years, comparing my lifespan to nearly 1,000 years. I said with a smile, I have a lifespan of number years. His talent was originally mediocre and afraid of death, afraid of pain, or still so clear-headed. Quiet places are suitable for me. Du Yayao, he chuckled and then recounted his trip. The purpose of Prince Jilin. 3 were prepared inside the Tai Chuan gate. The young lady created momentum and built connections. We should also do our part. You try your best to collect on weekdays. I come to find medicinal herbs every 6 months. You can use these medicinal herbs to win over Prince Jilin. Is his brother's bargaining chip ready? I'll just stubbornly think about the problem anyway. Medicinal herbs are not to me either. It is important to deliver Du Yi to the valley. As soon as I returned to the courtyard, I saw Laya is waiting. He came up to me and put his hand. A secret manual pressed on my. I'm ready to go. My chest is on the ground. This sword technique serves as a farewell. Jilly thanks you for this year. I accept half of the things I do. There was a hint of something in my heart when I read the secret manual. Reluctance to part with Lai Ye is comparable to recklessness. Much better. Meng Lang is just a beast. Lifespan detection revealed Lai. The cultivation level of the teeth has reached the level of training. The Kai Realm 9th level was reached so quickly. Could the speed be broken in the forest? Did someone enlighten him or say, Laya's body holds a hidden past, the old man persecuted by villains? Soul Laya looked at me and said, I plan to be stationed at the base next month. Who knows when this parting will end? They had only been able to meet for a short while. Meng Lang is back. I heard that Laya. He was also in a low mood as he prepared to leave. In the end, Laya still left. The sword bone given by the tooth was named Lai. I know the 7 swords of the Lai family. This represents the royal family of Taikang dynasty. So I practiced very seriously. Spring has come and spring is full of vitality. Zhang Chunkyu received the medicine again. One of the returning individuals was a 14-year-old. The 17-year-old boy's name is Agawa. Agawa is a reclusive young man. I helped him collect something many times over the years. 2 years after picking the herbs, the words gradually, more and more. But overall, he remained silent and in charge. Zhang Chunkyu found this day. Then I introduced someone to me. Help a senior colleague who is away from home, tidying up the scattered items in the cave. The reward is 10 medium-grade zeros. Snack food from low to high price range. High score is low grade. Medium grade. High grade, a top quality piece of medium grade 0. Food equivalent to 100 low grade items. Snacks in my monthly report. The reward is just a low grade snack. This is equivalent to obtaining it in 2 years. How can 1,000 yuan worth of low quality snacks be enough? I'm not interested. And besides, I'm just tending to the grass. Even if you don't have money, you still need medicine. I haven't done anything for the past 2 weeks. Opportunities to pick herbs. It's really true that their lifespan is not long. It's so painful. I really miss the old days. The feeling of being cursed by fate, dragon, mirror, god. Yuan Gong can only bring each month. The increase in life expectancy in the coming year. Later, Zhang Chunkyu took me to. Zhang went to that senior's cave. Spring and autumn patted his waist. It flew out of the storage bag. He grabbed my long sword, arms leaping up and landing, flying on the longsword. My eyes revealed envy. Mujai's flying on a sword is the standard equipment for cultivators. But you must open your eyes wide and see clearly. The road you came from. You will have to take it from now on. I couldn't help but ask myself, senior brother's sword control technique is, if you won't teach me, then you'll have to try cultivating strength to reach the Kai refining path. I'll teach you sword control when you're on the 4th floor. Not long after, they landed in A. We came to a place in the mountains and forests. Zhang Chunkyu raised his hand in front of the mountain wall. Take out a jade pendant and head towards the mountain. Press into a groove in the wall. Immediately following the mountain wall battle, the stone door appeared, revealing Zhang Chun. Q took off the jade pendant and came to A. My spacious cave room. My eyes were drawn to a patch of medicinal herbs. The grassy area attracts those. The herbs are planted very densely. Even a few can occupy hundreds of types. Most of the cave space is. My current perspective, you can tell these herbs. Quality is not simple, Zhang Chunkyu. They started pointing me out which herbs. The area also yields various medicinal herbs. The specific cultivation process first. Try to find it. If you come on the way at dusk, I haven't returned to Medicine Valley yet. Zhang Chunkyu came to take pictures, pat my shoulder, and then the jade pendant. I also fell behind and then begin harvesting the mature herbs. Cow successfully captured Lingyan. Grass tier 3, 9-year lifespan. First, the batch of herbs that need to be harvested includes 11 plants brought me 19 years of lifespan. This is why it reached 1,264. I left the cave after picking the fruit. He returned to the room half an hour later, before reaching the entrance of Medicine Valley. As you walk in, you'll see a man named Chu. Jin Feng lost his right arm. Jin Feng looked weathered and wore the black robe and his previous appearance. Chu Jin Feng was like a completely different person. He leaped up to be as tall as a tree cane, like wild geese skimming over the hillside. Generally, when it falls in front of me, you must be Guan. I have something to ask you, Chu Jin Feng said in a deep voice. Before pretending to be nervous and bowing, I will answer any questions you may have. Answer. Have you ever seen a demon of greed and anger? He even choked you. Do you still remember his face? He shook his head and said there was nothing in the house that night. I can't even see the oil lamp when it's lit. His face was unclear. He appeared briefly. My body scared me so much I fainted. At this point, I secretly mobilized. The body's Kai and blood affect one's face. He instantly lit up the fire and nodded. First, if you remember anything, or if you encounter any problems, you can contact us. I told him to take out a piece. Spirit stones can be infused with spiritual power. He discussed spirit stones with me. He tossed it to me and then flew away on his sword. 2 years have passed in the blink of an eye. The owner of that cave today. I'm back. I'll lift the bushes and come to. We clasped our hands in greeting before the mountain wall and said goodnight. Senior Gu and came to visit his senior. Return the jade pendant from the cave. A hoarse voice came from inside. Come in and out. Go through the cave. I saw a person sitting at a stone table. The pig with black teeth practices Kai cultivation. Floor 58,130,140. Walked quickly to, piercing a hole in front of pig ink tooth. The jade pendant was presented to the pig with both hands. Moya put the jade pendant back softly. You did a good job with this bag. The son has 10 mid-grade spirit stones. You took him away and lifted him onto the table. He handed me the cloth bag and I respectfully took the cloth bag and then he bowed again and then turned to leave. Turn around again to test my keen senses. What the eyes capture immediately. Throw over a lifespan probe. Greed, anger, demons, ghost, second tier 311, 40,180. I walked quickly and silently. There was definitely something wrong with leaving. I have wondered why the demons of greed and anger. The ghost attacked without causing any damage. To the pig ink tooth cave along the way. The government was originally involved with greed and anger this time. Thinking of demons and ghosts, I thought of Chu Jing, the spirit stone left by the wind decides. However, asking Chu Jing Feng for help was not an option. Before that, we need to improve our practical skills, just in case there is no 3 years. Just thinking about being cursed is terrifying. Excitedly returned to the room and called up. Attribute phase selection towards spring. Numia invests 100 years of her lifespan. You cultivate through evolution, refining Spring Palace for 1 year or 10 years. In the 100th year, the Spring Evening Palace was promoted to. Chun Yuan Jiu continued to confront Chun Yuan. You would never invest 1,000 years of your life. You have cultivated the Spring Primordial Essence for 1,000 years. The construction on the Shenmu Chunyang Palace to reach the point of being of one heart and soul with you. The Twilight Spirit root was enhanced. Then a flood of memories came in. Consciousness in the mind is immersed in. The whole person bursts forth in the process of inheritance. After a long time of green light, I woke up and opened my eyes. I felt the whole world had changed. The difference can be clearly felt. The twilight attribute in the air. The spiritual energy can still be felt. The vitality of these flowers, plants and trees. This feeling is quite wonderful. Try circulating the pure yang of the divine wood. The palace was different from before, and I immediately able to absorb the twilight between heaven and earth. The entire Reiki process is very smooth. Silky smooth. Just take a sip. That surpasses the efforts of the previous 6 months. It suddenly felt like a dream. I felt like I suddenly became. If a genius is like that, then their cultivation level will be. Don't rush to improve, but attack. The means must be improved to enhance Twilight Fall. Lie Jayaki on the leg of the broken wind. The sword is swordsmanship, but in my hand, without the sword and the broken wind leg, it's different. I relied on my legs and physical strength. The quantity is enough to easily kill it. If radical greedy and angry demons are, combined with the power of the remnant wind kick, it must be bigger. I'm so excited. 500 years of dedication to the disabled and muscular physique. Lifespan evolution and cultivation. Having cultivated the crippled wind leg technique for 100 years. Advancement to wind silver for cultivation. The crippled wind leg was promoted to a higher level after 400 years. Wild wind and absolute silver cultivate the remnants. Wind leg 500 years of gale. The silver leg wins the glory crown. During military operations, physical techniques were used to combat the body. The understanding of law has been enhanced. The feeling of being cursed is really. This feels so good. I'm so proud of my self-cultivation. The path to immortality produces more. The idea of becoming a Xuan Dan in just a few years. Zhang Chengqiu, the living head, still intended to. The mountain has no master, so the position is none other than mine. We will recruit another batch at that time. I am only responsible for miscellaneous disciples. The day after picking and pruning the beautiful seedlings, Zhang Chengqiu found me and led me there. I wandered around inside the medicine bone and gave directions, telling the story of every inch of the medicinal bone. The land is covered with herbs, but I sensed something was wrong. This sounds more like a confession. After a long time, Zhang Chengqiu, turning to look at me, he said, from now on, you will be this medicinal bone. I pretended to be surprised by my senior brother. He asked in a panic, Senior brother, what's wrong? You seem worried about me. As expected, Zhang Chengqiu felt 10. I'm relieved that I stayed at Yegu. It's time for me to come down from the mountain after 40 years. Mediocre talent for cultivation. This life, helplessness and hope are better than being here. Instead of wasting time, it's better to go down the mountain and enjoy yourself. I dream of that boy for the rest of my life. He can't be a big shot if he slacks off. My senior brother has been gone for 3 months. Go where no one knows me. Reaching the first level of Kai refining mirror. The master of Shinki Jun. Yang Gong is truly a formidable master. He stroked the white spirit water twist. Looking up, I saw Cheng Xuanden walking from the mouth of the valley behind. They also followed a man and a woman down. Consciousness uses lifespan to explore the night. Lanlian Kai mirror. Level 14, 11,013,069. Level 25 of the Kai Refining Mirror, 140,190. is here again. The two menial workers immediately, walking towards Cheng Chu and Dan. Chu and Dan instructed me to make the arrangements. The two then remembered Zhu, Moya, and the demons of greed and anger. Resolved this as soon as possible to avoid them encountering the problem. I took it on the night of the danger. The spirit stone that emerged from Chu Jingfeng, a trace of spiritual power, was infused into it. After vertical inhalation, the sound came from inside. Chu Jingfeng's voice was the first. I am the guardian of the demon bone. Information about greedy, angry, and demonic spirits. Then eyes swept across the area. Chu Jingfeng spoke at length about this matter. I will entrust it entirely to you. Go to the outer gate to find out about his construction. The address will no longer be a hassle for you. After Chu Jingfeng tipped off the enemy, there was no disturbance for 3 consecutive days. Until late on the 4th day, I sensed something outside the demonic bone. Signs of spiritual energy disturbance are emerging. You can still hear the sound of ice blades. The sound of the machine started hitting me. Sneaking out quietly, I arrived at battle in the distance at the mouth of the valley. It was very intense, and suddenly I seemed to, sensing something, I suddenly turned around, looking back at the demon bone, only seeing Cheng Shuanden standing by the window, looking at me from afar. I am radiant. The moonlight shone down on the dark. Cheng Shuanden in the attic. It looked like a vengeful ghost, which made my heart ache, suddenly feeling a bit hairy. I don't know what to do. At this moment, Cheng Shuanden slowed down. Slowly closing the window was just part of his gaze, like 2 beams of light that made me. It was really unsettling for Cheng. Shuandan's first words were, my thoughts were interrupted. I clicked. He answered yes. He had previously looked for. When I say there is greed and anger, clues to demons and ghosts can be found at any time. It was my senior brother Zhang who recommended me. Go give it to someone named Zhu Moya. Outer disciples managed the cave. Zhu Moya returned and made me. I went to the handover and saw what he had hidden. The demon of greed and anger behind the vines. The ghost's cave is too far from us. I have no choice but to find Chu Jinfeng. Cheng Shuanden nodded and said, you do it. Indeed. All we can do about this matter is looking for Chu Jinfeng. He's not simple. He's not only talented, excellence has a more distinguished background. Therefore, Jing was able to be radical, cultivation level, to become an inner disciple. Chu Jinfeng has been investigating corruption. That's why the evil spirit accepted our medicine. Bone's mission was his father's, with a certain important figure in the sect. You did a great job in the game. After that, you will be my true disciple. Anything you want to know or learn, anyone can come to me. Your teacher, don't think that bothering your teacher is insignificant. The days that life can teach you. However, I was very careful. Fu, can you refine the inscription pill? The standard features of a cultivation protagonist. It's the opening inscription. Danking, I don't want spring to stay forever. Later, when the old man with white hair, who Chengshu and Dan made a move from a distance, a jade bottle appeared in his hand. He poured out a piece of the ground for me. Without hesitation, I took a bite. Lower Divine Wood Pure Yang Gong Dragon Mirror. All Shen Yuan Gong techniques have the ability to expel toxins. The effect is described as immunity to all poisons. The description is by no means an exaggeration. I was completely unguarded towards him. A look of joy appeared in Xu and Dan's eyes. The comforting look continued from that night. After the great battle, there was no more outside the valley. There was no sign of battle. Fengzhu Moya didn't come to ask for it. Time flies. A year has passed. Time has tamed. I can live my life again. Increased to more than 2,800. At noon on this day of the year, I was reading while lying on the cliff. His eyes suddenly widened. The travelogue of Kingxia actually contains. There's something in that soil. Suddenly a neighing sound came from the sky and descended a lamp of miasma. The long white eagle landed a distance. I approached 2 far-sighted people. The claws released a letter. It fell and then glided in the air. Draw a perfect arc, vanishing swiftly into the other side of the mountain. I never thought of my own. The white mouse has a tiny bit of fur, about the size of a palm. The envelope was not opened, and nothing was found. Besides the letters, there was also the jade pendant is engraved with the character Chu. This letter was actually from Chu. Jin Feng wrote Chu Jin Feng first. It simply explained what had happened before. Zhu Moya was already dead in that battle. The jade pendant under his sword. It is a token of their Chu family. If Guan encounters a problem he cannot solve, the problem can be solved with this jade pendant. I asked him to put away the letters. He leaped and flew straight off the cliff. Go back to the room, close the door, and start again. The reason why I picked up the travelogue of Kingxia. I like Kingxia's travelogue because it is. The series of books is released every 6 months. A new volume will appear, following serialized novels in the world of cultivation. It makes me feel like I'm back on Earth. I felt a sudden urge half an hour later. However, I heard from the house next door. The turbulent waves seemed to be on the ground. He rolled around on the ground, his breathing extremely muddy, hesitating whether or not to go see this. The brat doesn't even call himself Tang Tang. Accompanied by the surrounding spiritual energy, he flowed towards his house again. Another year has passed since I began my cultivation. Winter snow arrives and heavy snow falls. I am directing my junior brother. The girls cleaned up that Minglang store. The guy has become possessed and hides all day long. Anyone can practice martial arts indoors. He couldn't be summoned, and suddenly a voice rang out. The sound of something cutting through the air came from afar. A man who refused to comply was seen, riding a flying sword. Piercing through the sky, snowflakes arrived like a sword immortal. I subconsciously looked at him during the night, throw it away to investigate and discover. This guy's cultivation level has reaching the 6th level of Kai refining stream. The 3 of them stared wide-eyed. Their joining the Tai Chuan sect was not come to Nahaling for the war. The lamp was only lost because of its mediocre quality. In this realm, they're joining the Medicine Valley is. I smiled as I waited for an opportunity. I chatted with Du Yi for a while, only after spending the night in the circle. When it came to serious matters, he said in a low voice, how to prepare the herbs. Come with me. I did save some. Herbs are the eldest disciple of Medicine Valley. Give all that is due to you. Although I can take more. I've been ordered to do this. But it will take time before becoming completely invincible. One must get along well with Jijia. Jia is the entire Taikang dynasty. The top aristocratic families are too hasty. All the immortal cultivation sects in the dynasty. The figures of organic children. Spending the night along the way began to stir up trouble. Menria is from your Medicine Valley. He must be a member of the royal family of Taikang. He is currently vying for power with his elder brother. The two even made a vow to live. The duel to the death caused a great uproar. Boiling Point is now an aid. My cultivation level on the 2nd layer of the machine mirror. Curiosity must be explored to achieve. Only assistive lenses can become external. Disciple, Dewey nodded. That is the way of nature. Just like my cultivation, although it is not enough. It is outside the gate, still belongs to the category of menial tasks. The assistive lens can be directly upgraded to outer disciples reaching the core formation stage. Mirror can then be promoted to intersect. Disciple among inner disciples. There are also true teachings passed down from master to disciple. These disciples are all in the open. If the rules are exceptionally good, even if we break the rules, the 3 of us can still do it. That's the kind of person a young lady is. Once she enters, she is already a disciple of her master. To challenge the true disciples, the idea is to become a true successor. Disciples cannot rely solely on cultivation level. It also needs to be able to convince the public and have enough. My prestige. So I waited for. She paved the way for 2 people like me. Prepare the prepared medicinal herbs, including Dewey leaves. He nodded his red right hand, reaching for the storage bag at his waist. Take out a secret manual from it. It was handed to me and had 8 direction steps written on it. Dewey explained that this was a mecha, although the pace was only that of a mecha. The basic steps for learning the killing step. But if you learn to use your feet, Bu Qi will encounter trouble in the future. Perhaps he can escape this calamity. After you left, I started flipping through the 8 books. Fang Bu repaired it in the yard. Refining doesn't even involve using lifespan. Can cultivation be deduced? Suddenly, that mecha technique appeared. The door of the house next door was pushing open my eyes. They were bloodshot. Meng Lang emerged from it. His forehead was covered in blood. If it's terrifying, Agawa Riku. All 9 Jia Yellen were frightened. Meng Lang rushed directly towards him. The recent night-blooming jasmine is like A. The mad beast Yellen was too scared to even react. The resistance began at that moment when I, Zhu Yellen's shoulder, pull your right foot and step on it at the same time. Meng Lang's chest. The momentum explodes and the energy rises slowly. Both feet were pushing off the ground. 2 long marks appeared. Suddenly Meng Lang grabbed with both hands. A brute force in my right foot. I wanted to break my leg. He leaped up suddenly and exerted force. He stomped down and pressed Meng Lang down. With a thud, Meng knelt down on the ground. Lang's knees sank into the mud. Among them, I saw one leg, suppressing Meng Lang, Xiaochu, and Lu Jiu. Jia Yellen was extremely excited. Rai Lai Minglang always boasts that he is the strongest dancer. Unexpectedly today, losing control and getting kicked by the senior brother. No wonder he was forced to kneel down. Senior brother, you're not being reckless. I looked down on you, looking at Meng kneeling in front of him. The spiritual energy surged down his right leg, forcibly entering Meng Lang's body. The chaotic spiritual energy within him. It seems that Meng Lang, the support, has gone astray. What kind of cultivation technique did you practice? This method is too bizarre, isn't it? Meng Langhai, Black laughs. Naturally, it's a divine skill. It's just that I lack the aptitude and comprehension. It's easy to train for longer, but there's no way I can do it. Must become an all-around disciple. After helping him to bed, he then turned and left. Arriving at the courtyard, Zilly continued to cultivate in all directions. Winter goes and spring comes again. Beautiful scenery at dawn. I took my junior brothers and sisters up. The mountain took a full half-day to clear, except for one piece touching the floor. 3 mixed herbs. The child brought the seed back to the house. Afterwards, you can access your own attributes. Dough,